an aside. Before I get on out of here today, I want to preface my comments by my pending comments by saying my staff didn't want me to do this. You know, they didn't want me to bring this up. So because of them, out of respect for them, I'm not going to mention names or the trifling individuals that keep talking shit about.
Stephen A. Smith just went off on Vanessa Bryant, and this isn't your average breakup drama. Months after cozying up to her new man, Vanessa's world got flipped upside down. Dumped out of nowhere, stripped of Kobe's anniversary jewelry, and even accused of putting her kids at risk for a guy she barely knew. And the craziest part? Stephen A. swears he saw this train wreck coming from the start. Now the big question everyone's whispering, was Vanessa blindsided by betrayal, or was the whole thing a setup from day one? Sources say Vanessa was quietly nursing a shattered heart when she woke up to the coldest text ever from her so-called new boo. It's over. That's it. No warning, no explanation. But heartbreak quickly turned into fury, because this wasn't just about love gone wrong. The man allegedly walked away with Kobe's anniversary jewelry, and that's when things went from messy to criminal. The bombshell first leaked when a Newport Beach Police Department insider claimed Vanessa filed a complaint for missing jewelry and cash. But here's the twist that made everybody's jaws drop. Vanessa allegedly begged for the report to stay under wraps, like she already knew the fallout would be explosive. And get this, the way it was handled raised eyebrows inside the department, making people question if this was bigger than just stolen bling. The missing jewelry and cash wasn't from some random break-in. According to the official report, Vanessa believed her own man took it. That's when the heartbreak cut even deeper, because this wasn't just a breakup, it was betrayal right inside her home. Suddenly, it wasn't about love lost anymore. Vanessa was drowning in regret and shame, knowing exactly what kind of storm was about to hit once the story went public. And right on cue, in walks Stephen A. Smith. The drama exploded when Stephen stepped in to confirm the rumors. Vanessa's boyfriend had really dumped her. If you remember, back when whispers first started that Vanessa was seeing another man just 5 years after losing Kobe and Gianna, Stephen was the loudest voice out there. He blasted her decisions, dropped receipts, and reminded everyone who the real victims of this tragedy were. And now that the truth has spilled out, Stephen didn't hold back for a second. On his show, he flat out said he always knew Vanessa would get tossed aside, claiming all the warning signs were there from day one. But according to him, the biggest humiliation isn't just getting dumped, it's that she gambled everything, even her children's well-being, for a man who walked away. For a man she barely knew, Vanessa risked it all. And one clip from Stephen A.'s rant lit the internet on fire. It wasn't just his words, it was the cold way he dropped them. He leaned back in his chair, smirked like he'd been saving this moment, and then dared her to prove him wrong. The delivery felt more like a knockout punch than commentary, and fans couldn't get enough of it. The comment section went savage, people saying she thought she was playing smart but got played herself. Others went as far as writing, "Kobe would be rolling in his grave if he saw this," while others called Vanessa a traitor to his legacy. And for once, the crowd seemed to stand squarely with Stephen A., praising him for being on point as usual. But just when it seemed like the story couldn't spiral any further, boom, Kobe's mother, Pamela Bryant, jumped straight into the chaos. And here's the wild part. Vanessa might actually be facing a custody battle over the two younger Bryant girls. Now, everybody knows Kobe and his parents had their issues when he was alive. But one thing was crystal clear. They adored their grandkids. So when Pamela heard Vanessa had been letting her new man into the house around the kids with no filter, she went off. Witnesses say Pamela stormed into Vanessa's home that very same day, not like a sweet grandmother, but like a woman going to war. She called Vanessa every name in the book, accusing her of dragging the Bryant family name through the dirt and, worse, putting her grandchildren in danger.
Vanessa Bryant might be messing with Snoop Dogg on the low. She went to Snoop Dogg's concert in November 2023, and you see Snoop Dogg's hand on her shoulder, some people might think that's okay and her to hold it back. No. Yo, I'm gonna keep it a glass of water, y'all. This is nasty work. This person in the comments talking about she's a grown woman, a widow, and Kobe would be happy. Kobe would not be happy with Snoop Dogg, Pau Gasol, Rob Pelinka, or any of his close friends messing with Vanessa Bryant. I don't care what y'all say in the comments. I mean, that's nasty work. I just really hope that it's not Snoop Dogg that's the one that's messing with Vanessa Bryant. Because we all know Vanessa Bryant been, single, unfortunately, since 2020. It's been, 4 years now? You know that she got to be messing with somebody on the low, y'all. I don't care what y'all say. You can't say that Vanessa Bryant hasn't messed with nobody for 4 years.
Moving on after tragedy is one thing, but being so wrapped up in a new romance that you let some random man have access to your kids? That's where the line got crossed. And Pamela wasn't about to stay quiet. She didn't just show up to yell, she showed up with demands. Witnesses say she told Vanessa straight up, pack the kids' bags and hand them over. That's when the whole thing exploded into a custody showdown. Vanessa broke down, wailing that Pamela was trying to rip her kids away from her. Moments later, Vanessa even shared a shaky video of herself crying, her face swollen, her voice trembling. But Pamela wasn't buying it for a second. In fact, she went even harder. According to insiders, Pamela threatened to drag Vanessa into court if that's what it took to protect the girls. Her exact words? I'll go to the deepest parts of hell before I let you ruin those kids the way you ruined my son. That one line shook everybody who heard it. And now the fallout from Vanessa's little fling just keeps stacking up like dominoes. Her reputation's already shattered. And if Pamela convinces a judge that Vanessa slipped up as a mom, she could lose custody of her daughters too. But here's where it got even more wild. Instead of staying silent, Vanessa tried to flip the script with some cryptic IG stories. One read, "The devil is working overtime. Don't fall into his hands," very on brand for Vanessa, since fans remember her brushing off pregnancy rumors months back with cheeky Rihanna memes. But this time, the vibe was different. This wasn't lighthearted shade. This was a woman triggered and lashing out because she didn't stop at just one post. Vanessa didn't stop there. She fired off another cryptic post. Might be time to sharpen those fangs. This one hit different. Bold, sharp, almost violent. She didn't call out names, but she didn't need to. The message was crystal clear. This was aimed at the people circling her. Stephen A. blasting her on TV, Pamela Bryant threatening to snatch her kids. And she left the post up long enough for every tabloid to grab it, practically daring the headlines to spread. The signal couldn't have been louder. Vanessa was ready for war if that's what it took to defend herself. But instead of winning sympathy, the move backfired in a big way. Normally, fans would rush to rally behind her. But this time, the tide turned quick. The comments section roasted her. One fan dropped the coldest take. Vanessa's a wolf in sheep's clothing. Smiles for the cameras, monster behind the scenes. And it didn't stop there. Even people who normally had her back, other basketball wives, her usual circle of supporters, kept their distance this time. It was like everyone decided she had to deal with this storm alone. But here's what makes it sting even more. This drama isn't just about Vanessa anymore.
Had a ticket for her never-seen-in-public-before boyfriend, but she chickened out at the last minute for the big event last night. And that is Kobe Bryant's widow, Vanessa Bryant, at the 2024 ESPY Awards. Vanessa ended up taking Ciara, but back in the day there was a rumor that Fernando Vargas, the boxer, lived in her guest house.
Every move she makes, every post she drops, is dragging Kobe's legacy through the mud. What he built with blood, sweat, and sacrifice now risks being overshadowed by scandal and chaos linked to his widow. Sponsors are getting jumpy, pulling back deals and shelving contracts that should have been locked in by now. What was once the unstoppable Black Mamba dream is starting to wobble. And the person meant to carry it forward, Vanessa, looks like she's stuck playing defense instead of holding it together. And here's the kicker. Plenty of people aren't letting her forget that she built this pit herself. Sitting right at the top of that list, Stephen A. Smith. After Vanessa's cryptic IG stunt, he didn't back off. Nope, He went live again, doubled down, and blasted her even harder. This time, Steven didn't just clown her for getting played by some random Joe. He went deeper, demanding answers about how she's been handling the charity projects Kobe left behind, the ones meant to help kids who needed it most. That hit like a gut punch because Vanessa's already been dragged for years for allegedly icing out Kobe's parents despite sitting on his fortune. But Steven took it to another level, pulling out what he claimed were actual financial documents tied to Kobe and Vanessa's joint charities. And what those papers showed? Alleged mismanagement of funds. Not just messy bookkeeping, but patterns that made people raise their eyebrows and start asking serious questions. At first glance, the records looked like small inconsistencies, nothing too wild. But Stephen A. said those little mistakes might not be mistakes at all. He hinted they could be signs of something rotten with Vanessa's fingerprints stamped all over it. And this time, when Stephen dropped the bomb, the smirk was gone. His tone was serious, almost chilling. He leaned forward, paused between sentences, and let the silence speak louder than the words themselves.
He and I were pretty tight. People didn't realize that, but we were. He talked to me about a lot of things. And in 2006, he came on my show, quite frankly, that time. And I was talking to him about hosting the show. I was hosting the show, and I said, hey, they calling me like, they saying I got the potential to be the next Oprah. And he said, quote, F Oprah, Harpo.
Can actually go through that live, but let's say they had his best interest at heart. No, parents disagree.
It felt like he knew he was stepping into dangerous ground, and he wanted everyone watching to feel it. Stephen didn't even need to spell it out. The receipts told the story. The implication? Vanessa might have been funneling charity money straight into her new man's pocket. That's what makes this breakup sting even more. Not just betrayal, but betrayal tied to Kobe's legacy. Now, let's be clear, nothing has been proven yet, but if Steven's right, the fallout would be insane. And one thing's for sure, he's not letting this go until every stone is turned over. Meanwhile, Vanessa? She's gone quiet. No IG stories, no clapbacks, nothing. And that silence screams louder than any words she could post. So what do you think? Is Stephen A. exposing the truth? Or is Vanessa being dragged unfairly? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss the next chapter in this saga. Click the video on your screen and I'll catch you in the next one.